Man, it's crazy. It got real busy and then it slowed way down. And that's always like depressing because you're like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like,
You're like,
I
what did
was
I
on a
do?
routine where I was like feeling very like getting stuff done and like working. And then all of a sudden it like came to a halt, which I'm usually happy about because I love hanging out at home with the kids.
Yeah.
But it was like after like 4 days home straight, I was like, what just happened? Am I ever going to work again?
You remember when you used to take your old phone when it was analog phones and you just, is it work? Yeah, it's working.
It's working. I'm not working, but the phone is.
No, I totally, dude, it's feast or famine around here. You know, with with
Uh,
with music at least, it's always feast or famine. I'm either gigging and gone, or I'm home and wondering when the next gig's going to show up. And you just,
well,
it comes when
is
it
it like
comes.
comedy? It's like everybody wants you when you're working because you're working.
Some of that, there's also some of this other thing where, you always, social media, the great lie of our day, right? We're always like, life is great, living my best life, bro. I'm gigging. Look at my office today. And then when people see that shit, two things happen. First off, they go, "Oh wow, he is working. He's busy. He's doing stuff." The other thing is, he's busy and doing stuff. I better call somebody else, and that's a real
Yeah,
fucking thing. That's real. Like when I'm out with the monkeys, my phone doesn't ring at all, and I'm like, "Well, why isn't the phone should still be ringing? I mean, people should be calling me for dates. I can't do them or whatever, but they still should
yeah.
call." But I'm
I'm
like,
used to a certain standard of people calling and checking in.
exactly. So when they see the social media, it's that stuff dies down, and I'm like, well, what do you do about that? I don't really know what to do about that. You got to walk
Yeah,
that fine line of, you want people to know that you're out there and doing your thing. At the same time, you want people to know that they can still call you, and
yeah.
that's been tricky, man. That's really
Well,
tricky.
and the big problem, and this is why I had somebody else take over my social media. To me, the big problem was I want to let people know where my gigs are. So the off, I mean, I'm not a draw. I'm not one of those guys who have like a million followers and my name sells a room. But
My room.
there
I,
might be, well, I mean, the thing is like I might post I'm playing your place, and then all of a sudden, like my 4 or 5 friends that are in Nashville will go, oh, we'll come out. And I get to see my friends. It's not like when I put it out, it's a beacon of like, all right, Nashville, get your tickets now because it's your last chance.
yeah. It's a
But
I can't figure all this shit out, dude. I can't figure out how much is too much or not enough.
yeah,
What's detrimental, what's helping. It's such a hard thing for me to, and if I listen to
yeah,
my teenagers, they've got a whole different attitude about it altogether with social media. And I'm like, well, I don't want to listen to them. They're not my client. They're not my client, you know.
yeah. They're not the
They're not
demo
paying
you're
me.
going for.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I'm kind of in this like no man's land of like, well, I'll just throw shit up there and see what happens.
But
But
I think there's so many people that are in your exact same spot, but we don't really have a voice for it because it's, dude, just today, I was at the gym and I was listening to ACDC. It's a long way to the top,
oh yeah, I love that
which
track.
is such a great song. It's the music industry, but it's also comedy. It's also acting. It's anybody who wants to be in the creative arts, like that song should be their anthem. And I'm listening to it going, anybody under 20 years old will never get this.
No,
They're like,
of
why would
course
you
not.
do all that work? And you could just go online and
They have
like
they have such a
different.
distorted view of what success is. What I don't. Oh, dude, get me ranting. Get me ranting. Are we're not rolling, are we? Are we rolling?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling. I'm your host, Mark Riccadonna, and with me as always,
Richie Byrne.
We got a great one.
What a show.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
We already did it. I know it's good.
We already did it.
That's good enough. Then just drop the music in there.
Yeah.
Leave my bass out here.
Oh, but you didn't introduce John. We need that.
Oh, you introduce him.
No, you do it.
Do I need to?
It's
Am
your
I
friend.
eavesdropping? Do I need to get out of this, or can I?
No,
listen?
you're fine. You do
I
it.
think you need to introduce yourself, John, because they're fighting over it.
Famous to tens of people, John Billings.
You can check out his place, the jam sessions at the Nashville airport. You can go have a drink at him and his wife's awesome place called Wine Down Nashville. And
This is why I wanted you to do it.
Bass guitar with you can see him play bass guitar with Micky Dolenz, though we haven't talked about it yet.
For 2 episodes. 2 episodes now.
2 episodes in, and we didn't talk about burying the lead. We haven't even gotten to the meat and potatoes. We've just talked theory.
You're going to have so much fun on this production, Tony. Yeah, John Billings is here.
Yeah, Tony's got to get his little blade out now. Cut all that editing.
You know what's funny in entertainment is you either work really hard and never make money, or something hits and then you don't have to work hard and people just hand you money. You know, it's funny that way. And gifts and everything.
Well, something I've noticed, and this goes with sports. I noticed it in sports, and then it became true later in life when it came to like the arts. Usually people who are insanely talented don't work hard and never grow. And then the people who are less talented but have the hard drive are the ones who take off.
I was just moving it.
I agree
You
with
know?
that.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Like Richie's super talented and he doesn't do shit.
I mean, how many people do you guys know? And I bet you could put up 2 hands.
Oh, a lot.
Of people that you met in your life that were insanely talented.
Yes.
Whatever it was that we're talking about, whether it's comedy or music or working on a car, and it was nothing to them and it was easy to them. But when things got a little tough, just a little like, oh, I got to do a little more effort, they were the first ones to cave.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to their.
Yeah, I think that's because if something comes easy to you,
you don't appreciate.
You don't appreciate. Yeah, and when something doesn't come easy, you just go, screw it. You know.
Yeah. I had a friend who was
Mark's never got to worry
on
about
a
that.
soap. This dude was a regular on a soap opera. He had a Times Square, a giant bulletin board of him doing a for some kind of commercial. He's like doing a jump kick. It was a really awesome picture of him, and he just quit. And we're like, dude, you hit the entertainment lotto. Why would you quit? And he's like, I don't like this. Like, okay. I mean,
what's he doing now?
I have no clue. He disappeared.
It's plumbing section of Home Depot.
Wow.
You know?
Well, the irony was that it was like he was the guy who had everything going for him, and now he's not even on social media.
But if you think about it, think of like a good-looking guy, right? So somebody probably said, "Hey, man, you should go in acting, and soap operas is the perfect place for a really good-looking." But it doesn't mean he ever had a passion for acting, and he probably didn't really care for it.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
You see that all the time with I see it in Nashville. I see these young prodigies, these young kids who are just they're naturally gifted. They don't have to work that hard. And that's not a bad thing. It comes easier to them. There's something there in their DNA that makes them hear it, recreate it, play it. But man, they get to be 18, 19, 20, 21. They're like, I've done this my whole life. It's not that big a deal. Yeah. And they just kind of fade off. And you always think, man, that they had it so going on, but maybe they never had the passion. Maybe they had the gift, but not the desire. I don't know.
Yeah. Or maybe just, especially if they started young, the idea of going, there's got to be something else in life.
Yeah.
You know? And maybe a lot of them go, shit, there wasn't. You know, I wish I could get back there.
I laugh because there's always like Facebook ads for these like people like, you wouldn't even believe what happened to these actors. And they're like childhood actors. And they make it like this story, like where they get shit on. And it's like, no,
yeah,
they hit a peak at like 13 and went, yeah, maybe I just want to be a math teacher.
Yeah. Like the girl from Wonder Years is a friggin' chemist now. Danielle.
Yeah, she's like a scientist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's her real passion. Maybe that's her passion. She can act, and she did this gig and made a bunch of money, but what she wants to do, and I get that. I understand it. I can get behind that. I've just seen so many parents that had the passion for the kid, but the kid didn't have the passion.
Right.
Yeah. Was that Frankie Munoz, the kid from Malcolm in the Middle? Somebody called him like something like, "Oh yeah, well that's you. You did one thing, and you had to retire out of acting because you suck or something like that." And he goes,
"Oh man,
yeah, I have 5 homes, 20 million in the bank, and I retired. Good luck.
He's a
Good
failure.
luck getting out of your mom's basement."
Yeah, he failed. That's a fail, dude. Come on.
But now I
can't believe that.
Now he has a vinegar company. They make high-end balsamic vinegar.
And he'll probably make more money than he ever did.
Right.
It'll be like Ryan Reynolds, and like the investments in his businesses are like generating more cash than the acting ever,
Right.
acting ever did. I'm just guessing this. That's not factual, but it probably is factual.
Well, doesn't he own a soccer team, Ryan Reynolds?
He owns a soccer team, and he just sold Mint Mobile, and he was a partner. And
he's.
Good Lord,
I'm not worried about him.
No, I do. I sit up at night and worry about.
Was it Dom DeLuise? Him and Bob Hope went into real estate, and Dom DeLuise owns the majority stock. I mean, obviously it's his estate now, but owned the majority stock in New Balance sneakers.
Really? Are you sure?
Random.
Dom DeLuise.
When I think of walking shoes, I think of Dom DeLuise.
There's a cat here in Nashville, and I'm going to get – this is the fact check point. This is where you're going to put the asterisk on the screen that says not factual information. I
think we just did with that Dom DeLuise story, but go ahead.
Just leave the asterisk up. Don't even take it down.
Yeah.
Ray Stevens owns – Ray Stevens, Streak. Look at that.
Yeah. Spiders and snakes.
He wrote so much stuff, right? He's a real estate mogul in Tennessee, in Nashville.
Yeah.
And he owns so much property. And then, Mark, you've been to Nashville. Everything's flipped over. So he's probably sold all this.
Wasn't he proud to be an American? Was that Ray Stevens?
No, that's Greenwood. Lee Greenwood.
Lee Greenwood. My bad.
Lee Greenwood.
Well, just put the asterisk up, and we'll say it was Ray Stevens.
Ray, it kills me. Ray's still playing. He has a theater. He still does shows, which is cool. I think because he loves it. He loves it, man.
Because
did you really?
Did you, Mark?
Yeah.
Mark's had every agent.
Cool.
Bob Kincaid.
Oh, that's cool.
He's Bob Kincaid. Cool. He's out of Nashville. He's that guy just has stories for days. Great guy.
We should get him.
I was going to say we should get him on.
Yeah,
when we come down and do the thing at your house, we'll have him come down.
Excellent.
When we do the show at the bar. Place.
That would be great. Those kind of guys, they know all the good shit. They know the good shit because they were behind the scenes fixing, correcting, burying, getting the hooker's body out of the hotel room.
His clientele list that was like Waylon Jennings. Ray Stevens, the Blue Collar. He was one of the producers on the Blue Collar tour.
And Mark Riccadonna.
And Mark Riccadonna.
Then he had Mark Riccadonna, which
that's where the dead hookers come in.
He was banking on his retirement with this one.
That's where he got his Bitcoin.
Riccadonna killed another hooker. We're gonna have to go to Memphis. Clean this up.
He always why does he always carry 55 oil drums around with him in the back of his car? 55-gallon oil drums. Why are they in there? Oh,
the Jeffrey Dahmer of comedy.
There you go.
Man, I watched. Did you guys see that movie, the Jeffrey Dahmer?
I
I
did.
think it's Netflix or Hulu.
Is it good?
I watched the first episode. I was like, I don't think I can watch this.
Wow.
Like,
I'm kind of curious.
good film sticks with me, and I gotta say, right now, Ted Lasso and The
Look at you
Bear
playing
are
producer.
probably the two best shows. But, dude, I watched that Jeffrey Dahmer one.
I couldn't get
could
into
not-
Ted Lasso.
You couldn't get into
No.
it?
Watched the first episode and went, I don't
So
care.
nice that you get to watch
That's the way
it.
to
I haven't
fall
seen
in
it
love
yet.
with the characters.
I really didn't like the character. I just didn't like. I couldn't understand them. But I guess I'm like, I don't understand what they're saying. They're English, and I just didn't get. Just like that Shakespeare stuff. I never got that either. That with ho for what the hell's that crap? I'll tell you what I just did. What I just did start watching the Lazarus Project, which is really good. Really good.
I don't know this.
It's a British show that TNT just picked up. It started last year in Britain, and TNT's showing it. It's really good, man. If you like that, it's about a guy, this organization that can turn back time. So when shit hits the fan here in America, in the world, like if World War III breaks out, and they can go back in time they keep going back to try and fix whatever's happening. It's pretty cool.
Wow. Meanwhile, they go back and keep fucking it up all over again.
Yeah, well, that's part of even though we're going back, we're still fucking other things up, and it's really cool. I highly recommend it.
I'm gonna check that out. My wife and I were I was curious about Yellowstone, and holy cow, dude, I just fell totally head over heels in love with Yellowstone.
Yeah.
I became one of those people. Like I'd put a horse in the backyard, I'd randomly shoot people and bury them. I love that show, and I really miss it. I'm bummed that Costner's bailing. Whatever.
Have you watched any of the others?
We watched all of them. We loved. We actually loved the one. It's called 1881, and here I'm a total moron. I live in Nashville. I didn't recognize Tim McGraw for like 2 episodes.
Oh, really?
And Tim McGraw's got this full facial hair.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
all hunched over. And if you ever meet Tim, he's a skinny, muscular, good posture guy. And the guy in this is his character. He's kind of transformed a little bit. He's still a kind of a gunfighter badass, but he's hunched over and he's under. He just looks like a different guy. And I think I recognized Faith first. I was like, or Amy did. My wife did. She goes, "That's Faith Hill," and I went, "No," but she's no makeup on. They're out there tussling around in the wilderness, and then we go, "Shit, that's Tim McGraw."
Wow.
Yeah, I love that. I love that first. That's kind of like the prequel to the prequel, because there's 3.
Right.
1881, 19 asterisks, 21, and then Yellowstone.
This is maybe it's true episode of Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling.
Let me ask my assistant. Oh, no, I got no assistant.
Our fact checker didn't show up today, so we're off.
Well, I'm ready for a new show. I think we're gonna have to try this Lazarus thing out. Give it a little whirl.
Yeah, give it a shot, John. Let me know what you think. It's real. I'm interested to see what you think about it. So where are you home?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm home. Last time you caught me, I was in my office. I am office free now. I retired from my video editing gig, which was awesome. I love those cats. I worked at Pearl Drums. That was like my day gig, my COVID job. And I stayed there for about 3 years while we got everything in our lives kind of back balanced again financially. We opened a new business. I kind of kept everything flowing while my wife went out there and kicked ass and took names. And so, yeah, I about a month ago, well, actually, June 1st was my last day. It's my last day at work.
Wow.
And I just kind of did this thing. Like I told my boss, a VP that hired me, Glenn Karuba, I gave him about a month's notice, and I said, "Hey, at the end of this month, I'm gonna pull out, and I'm gonna work for my businesses now. We're gonna get everything shored up there." And thank you for everything. And I mentioned it to like 3 or 4 other people, and then I didn't say anything else to anybody. And then I just, at the end of the day, on the 1st, I just floated in, just rode into the sunset. And I had a couple of people like drop emails and like, hey, have you got that thing? I'm like, no, I will never have that thing.
You were like Gene Wilder and
I'm
Cleavon
not-
Little at the end of Blazing Saddles,
Yeah.
getting in this limo.
Yeah, just rode off into the sunset, and I had a guy wrote me the other day. He's like, "Are you coming back in?" Like, because I would leave for tour. I'd just go. That was the great thing about working for those guys, is I could take off and go on the road.
They totally.
That's
whatever.
awesome. That's
Oh,
such a hard gig to find. That's what, you know what I mean? When you can find that gig is gold, and you I was going to say never give it up, but you did.
Well, the crazy thing was the VP, Glenn Karuba, who's just the coolest guy. He's a big time percussionist in Nashville. He actually has a road gig. He works for Rodney Crowell, so
Okay.
he'll go off and he'll use his PTO, his paid time off. He'll accumulate it, and he'll bail on a Friday and he'll come back on a Monday, and he'll have gone off, hit the bus, or got on a plane, done a gig over the weekend. He'll use some of his vacation time because he still loves to play. And for him, it's not really about the money. He just wants to get on stage and make music. And it's a cool gig. There's a couple of guys like that over there that I was a part-timer. So I was able to my agreement with them originally was I can't be a contract player because at some point I'm not retiring out of music. I just need to get through this whole COVID, whatever this is going to be,
Right.
however long this 2 weeks is going to last of COVID.
Yeah. As soon as I get out of this 2 weeks.
Oh my God, we were all barricaded in offices, and it was a trip. But those guys were beautiful, man. They took me in. I love them all. They're all musicians, and I at some point have played gigs with half the people that worked there. You'd walk through.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, and one cat. I told the story to Amy the other night. There's one guy there. I'll keep them all nameless, but I love this cat. He plays for a Canadian country star, and these people on the road, they don't travel. It's like comedy. It's not year round. You have your tours or your weekends and your one-offs, and then maybe it's dead for a minute. So they got to keep money coming in. So they might take a job. So they go over to Pearl. Pearl goes, "Hey, I go in the warehouse, unpack these drums. We're taking pictures, pack them back up." So one afternoon, this guy's in a tank top, his shorts covered in sweat. He's out in that warehouse. He's opening up drums, pulling them out. They photograph them, do product photography. Then his job is to carefully put them back so he's not destroying the packaging or anything. And this is what he's doing all day. And I go and visit with him. The next fucking day, it's him. It's Mark. It's like we were talking about the social media thing. It's like my office today, and it's the Bridgestone Arena. So one day he's in his shorts and tank top, unboxing drums. The next day he's playing at our arena in Nashville.
That's wild.
And but that's how it is there. People will kind of they let people float in and out, and it's good for the company when they've got people who are working out in the world. It makes it look good. I don't know how that is. It came out terrible, but they like it, and that was great. And I love those cats. But yeah, I floated. I kind of need to write some emails and say it was great working with you guys. It's so weird to say goodbye, or
yeah.
I get emotional. I turn into this big I miss you. So I unfortunately I just avoided it.
There's a comic out of Michigan. He calls it the Italian goodbye. There's the Irish goodbye where you just skip out. You skip out.
What I did.
He goes, then there's the Italian goodbye. It's like, cue the music.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'll never see you.
I love you.
The
my coworkers that worked from home. I had another partner as a video editor, and we'd work on our own little jobs, and every now and then we'd just communicate over Teams, Microsoft Teams, a chat. Hey, what's up? You got that file? And he chatted with me. This is a month after I left. He sent me some note the other day. It's like, hey, I haven't heard from you guys. Everything going? And I'm going, yeah, it's great. I'm trying to figure out what to do with my days now, and me and Amy are working hard. He said, what? You're not there anymore? Like, they didn't tell him. Nobody knows.
Nobody knew.
I had to do the explanation. Well, yeah, Yeah. So we're in my clusterfuck of a recording video editing studio, and I told Mark earlier that for 3 years it's just been it's a hoarder's paradise. Microphones and Dante cards for recording mixers. Here's my little Pelican case for my location audio. And you just that's what it's been for 3 years. Just throw it over there. And my kids come over. Yeah, pelican cases all at my feet. You can't see, thank God, from the waist down. But there's pelican cases of camera gear and recording gear.
Are you going on the road anytime soon?
I'm not. I'm going to be I do like a one-off in July in the Chicago suburbs.
For who?
That'll be Micky Dolenz.
Oh, it is Dolenz.
And there's another little run that's going to happen in September out in California with Micky. And we're going to do one really cool gig. Oh, my God. Of course, I have forgotten it now. Is there a place called the Ace Hotel? Let me look at my phone. In September, we're going to play a really cool gig in downtown L.A., and I will tell you right now what the name of that venue is. I believe it's the Ace Hotel, which whenever I say it's the Ace, they always go, they get all excited.
Except for me and Mark. We're like,
you guys, come on, you could be there. Yeah, the theater at Ace Hotel. That'll be September the 22nd.
All right, well, wait.
You guys got to make it out to one, man. We're not getting younger.
I know.
We're not getting younger.
I know.
Oh, speaking of birthdays and getting younger, I texted you that night. I was at the show in St. George Theater.
Was that with Karabi?
Yeah, and he was talking about wanting to do some Micky Dolenz covers.
That would be fun.
But
that
then
would be totally fun.
It was Kip Winger's birthday.
Oh, is it really?
So Karabi comes out on stage with a cake and all the candles on it, and what's his name? Tony Higbee from Tom Kiefer, who's at the Wind Down show. They come out and they start singing Happy Birthday. Then everybody on the stage and in the audience are, we're all old. So he's like, hold on, start over. I have to get my camera.
Yeah,
and he's trying to film it on his phone. So there was like a restart for the Happy Birthday. Instead of an arena just singing Happy Birthday, or
that's exactly right.
A theater singing Happy Birthday, we had to stop and then restart. But...
Mark, have you ever been there before, St. George?
With you, but not during a show.
Oh, that's right. You came with me to that meeting. God, what a beautiful theater.
Great.
Yeah. I'm playing there the end of July.
Are you playing
there downstairs, they're starting comedy downstairs, apparently.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, not in the big room. Thank God. I can't.
Richie, where's this theater at, sir?
It's in Staten Island, New York.
Okay.
And it's where I grew up. So it was I happened to meet the owner, and she was like, I really want you to play my theater. And I'm like, what theater? She goes, St. George. I go, I can't fill the St. George theater. But she did we worked together. We had a great time. I did do it a few years ago. It's it's like, what does it seat, Mark? Like 1,800 people, maybe? About 2,000. But it is one of the most beautiful. They redid the whole place. It's so gorgeous. It's got such an old-time feel to it. Just beautiful chandeliers.
Tony, I'll send you a ton of stuff that you can put up during this because I have the pictures. I took a ton of pictures while I was there.
That was Tony's thumbs up. I love how Tony pretends like we won't let him talk. It makes me laugh. Like John, we've been through so many versions of this show over the years, and we always end up with a producer who thinks that they're the third wheel and they should be talking and they should be on. And with Tony, who we actually like, he always pretends like we're going, don't you talk, man. You shut up, Tony. Sit there and just move some dials around.
Yeah. He knows what happened to the other guys.
Off camera, the guy with the gun.
Yeah.
Tony,
get in there.
I'm going to piss off Richie. Tony, get on camera, and you get to ask John any Monkees question you want.
Why is that going to piss me off?
I'm throwing you under the bus after you just said Tony. That. I'm just tossing you under the bus.
Tony!
Yo!
Hey! There he is.
All right, you see, this is why we don't let him on.
It's a half hour.
All right, here we go now. Everybody take lunch. Tony's got a question.
I got a whiz. Because Mark.
I'll tell you my favorite monkey story back in. I know you weren't with them yet, but in '89 I saw them at Westbury Music Fair, and you probably know they have. It's in the round. It's a circular stage, and it's in the round.
I played that stage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you did it, right, John?
And Davey was doing the song Valerie, and he was running backwards, and because it's in the round, he fell right off the stage. The whole and stairs. He went tumbling down the stairs, and the whole place, except for one little douche, sitting way in the back, laughing his ass off for the rest of the show. Totally me. I laughed hysterically, which makes me a terrible person.
Well, it's funny because
I'm like trying to wipe the tear from my eyeball because imagining that little tiny guy bouncing step by step. Each step as tall as he is.
I recently saw a video on somewhere of all different rock stars falling on stage.
Yeah.
Bruce and it's just funny, like Billy Joel.
McCartney, I think.
Billy
too, right?
Joel when he was playing with Elton John, he went to sit on the piano bench and he just went ass over, and you just see Elton John trying to cover it but laughing his
The sad part about that Davy Jones story, Tony, is that this is before we all had cameras in our phones, and no one probably caught that. Probably not on any.
There actually was on YouTube for a while. There was audio that I found, but but I actually, believe it or not, I can't find it now. It was up there for a while. I don't know if somebody got involved and had it taken down or what, but there was audio of it.
Westbury is when you're on that stage, you do lose your sense.
Well, because it also rotates.
It rotates so slowly, but it throws me off anytime I've worked
weird.
there.
It's weird.
The irony is that when the Elton John Bruce Springsteen thing happened, they were actually singing the song "I'm Still Standing."
Look at how it took him. He actually came back to it. Like we moved on
the whole time.
We moved on. Riccadonna's like, wait a minute, I got a joke from 1984 I can throw out here now.
Well, Tony, I did that same stage with Donna Summer, and when we worked with her there, she'd make us all the band sit in the pit. So we sit in the pit, and she's just up there spinning the whole night, which is cool. And a couple times she'd bring her sister or the background singers up, and it just spins slow. It's just always constantly moving. Well, she had me and the guitar player would always have to go out front with her on Hot Stuff, the song Hot Stuff. And she wanted that to be like a rock, like an 80s rock thing, like flipping hair and bumping bodies and, like watching Poison, in the heyday. That's what she wanted to see. And so when we got to the Westbury, she's going, so tonight, I want us all three up here, and we're going to rock out. But at this point of the song, I want you and Randy, the guitar player, to run around the outside of this stage, and I'll be in the center. And we're all like, oh, okay, well, all right, let's do this. And my man on guitar, Randy, with his beautiful Les Paul, head dive right. He got his feet caught up under.
Oh shit!
And went smack down on that Les Paul in front of everybody in the room. And slowly got up. And, guitar's all fucked up. But that's why I remember the Westbury dude that took out my man Randy.
Yeah, we call that pulling a Davy Jones.
Davy Jones.
Sorry, Mark.
There's a good video of my boss Micky up on YouTube somewhere where he backs over a monitor wedge. He steps back. He does the same thing. He goes flying. And that's
I've
up on
seen
YouTube
that
somewhere.
I've seen that. Yeah.
But for us at this age, we're like, when you see that, it's like,
you're gonna break a hip.
At this age. Yeah, you're like, this is it. Oh!
Yeah.
I went there with Don Jameson at Westbury, and we saw David Lee Roth.
Oh, that's
and
good.
During Panama, when the part where they play they're all playing, and then he does the where he starts talking, he goes, reach down between my legs. He started doing crowd work like a stand-up comic. He's like, hey, where are you from, man? You look like a Jericho dropout. Hey, look at this guy. He starts doing crowd work, and he's killing. Like, everybody's laughing their asses off. And some girl yelled at him something about, because he's wearing leather pants with no underwear. And some lady yelled something about his dick.
Febreze.
And he goes, I thought this was the funniest thing. He goes, Yeah, you can laugh all you want at this, but it's like a Harley Davidson kickstand. It's strong enough to hold up a hog like you.
Oh, wow.
Oh. God, he had all the line. He had like a dictionary of one-liners to throw back at people. He was amazing.
That's a great line.
That's a great
Can you
line.
imagine you're on the road? We've all been on the road. We've all traveled. You imagine having leather pants and no underwear after the third gig, fourth gig, week 2.
I can't imagine wearing leather pants and no underwear after like 15 minutes after being out of the shower. Like, it's done.
I can't imagine not wearing underwear ever. So in any situation, I wear underwear when I have a bathing suit on. Like, I mean,
and that's all he's wearing. You can't see, but that's all he's wearing now.
All right, get Tony off. Can we get Tony off, please?
Tony! Hey! Oh! I hit the stage at Radio City Music Hall in front of an entire orchestra, and it was the most humiliating moment of my entire life. I had same deal. I had to run from one end to the other, and so I don't even remember falling.
Who were you with? Who were you playing with?
I was with Donna Summer.
Okay.
All the embarrassing shit in my life happened with Donna. She'd have me, I got this idea, John, and next thing you know, like, man. But she did the same thing. And that Radio City Music Hall stage is so wide. It's giant. And she used to have like an orchestra. We'd always, wherever we go, we have like local players. We had 60 people on stage with us, them, production. She's doing sound check. She goes, I want to run hot stuff, and I want to run you guys crossing on the stage. Just full speed, full tilt, run it. And we'd do it once, and she'd go, one more time, because I want to see it one more time.
Who is she, Richard Simmons?
Yeah, well, it's just, I'm like, I'm an old man. Here I go. Here I go. I'll run with my bass guitar. I don't remember falling. I just remember opening my eyes and seeing the ceiling.
Wow.
And everybody, it's that collective gasp of, and that was the worst ever. And then that slow, you got to get up in front of everybody. You're like seeing if something's broken or not, and everyone's just staring at you. And that was bad. It's very bad.
Maybe she did that on purpose. Maybe she was the queen of pratfalls.
It's hard to tell. Sometimes she would do stuff.
She put an insurance policy out on you guys that was trying to see
she was trying to collect, make a house payment. She was just a little shy that month. No, I think sometimes she would like to. I'm not bagging on I love Donna. A lot of bosses, a lot of people in the arts will do this. They like to exercise their authority to a lesser degree. And what they'll do is they'll like, Mark, I want to see that one more time. One more time, just to make you hop up and go. Okay, here we go.
Right.
Sure.
And and they'll do that stuff in front of family. I always knew that when her family was coming around, it'd be like, oh man, sound check's not. This is a bad day. I need to double up on my Xanax and just get in there, because it'd always be some kind of like little something. She'd make us jump around, or whatever.
I had an acting teacher that said whenever a director tells you a complete bullshit note, let you know they're just giving you a note to give you a note, because they have to feel like just do it the exact same way, and then when they'll say like, well, how'd that feel? Just tell them like, that was a really great note. Do it the exact same way though, and then you'll just see them like light up like right? It looked great.
Look what I've done for you.
Yeah,
look what I've given you.
I'm giving you gifts.
Mine was more like. And I've had that with a couple of different people I work for, where they have family out, and the family wants to come to sound check, and they don't mean to do it. They're not. These artists are not thinking like, I'm gonna show these people. They're just. It's like, how do you say it? It's just you want them to see you're in charge. And so what they'll do? How do they do that? How do they let people know that you're in charge? You have them do crazy shit. Or silly shit, or do it 3 times over. Raise your voice a little this time, Meanwhile, everyone else is on stage is going, how much longer have we got of this crap? Sorry, I got a tangent. I just went on a tangent. Sorry.
That's what this show is all about.
That separates the men from the boys, when you can like put up with that shit and keep your gig by the end of sound check, and you haven't gotten fired. You're like, you haven't done the big "fuck you" and run off the stage. If you can get to the end of sound check and walk off stage with your job, you did good.
I feel like that's an ongoing theme because when we had Roy on the comedy show, and he told that story about Prince.
Oh yeah,
like he won him over when Prince was just fucking with him.
Yeah,
and he just went all in, and it was like, all right, you're my boy now.
That's exactly right. I love how I love that part of the story where he just discovered Prince by accident. He's in Paisley Park, and they've been rehearsing. He never saw Prince yet. The band directors they're rehearsing, and he has a break. So I'm just walking around, and it's a dark hall and a dark room and a walk-in room, and there's Prince watching the news. And now he's entered that room. Like, you can't just go, ooh, ooh, ooh. You can't run out. You're in. Now you're in. Now you got to do whatever it is you got to do. And he's got a great story about how he interacts with Prince. And I don't want to blow his story, but it's basically, Prince is watching the BBC. And, Roy's like, oh, you're watching the news? Yeah, I'm watching the news. And then Roy's like, I like news. News is great, It's like, oh, now I said that. Now I can't take that back.
So Roy is Prince's Tony.
I like jokes. You like jokes too? Jokes are funny.
Here comes the middle finger.
Yeah, you guys need to get. I'm not going to be that guy that always goes, who you need to get on your show? But you guys should bring Roy on for 5 minutes of just telling his stories about his family. He's from here. He's from out on the farms of Nashville back in the day when it was just farms out there, and his family is as a trip. They're pretty hilarious. And he posted
a picture of his dad the other day on social media. I was like, now there's a face to the stories.
He brought his sister in one night when he did his first time there. His whole family came out except for his dad. His mom and his dad didn't come, but they were all out. And his sister goes, "That's it. He's nailing it. That's exactly what it was like for us all. We're all laughed growing up. That's how my dad sounded, and that's how that went down. And so all his whole skit is just telling real stories." With the voices.
Dude, he was so funny.
He's such a good dude, and he's such an amazing musician, an amazing player. But yeah, he was a Prince up until Prince passed, and I think he had a rough start, but he eventually Prince. You can't not love Roy. He's just the sweetest cat.
Yeah, we really do have to have him on. Sorry, I had to mute my thing because this guy.
Oh!
He's out. I don't know what the weather's like where you guys are, but it's like evil scientists storming.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
There should be an evil scientist on top of a mountain.
Tesla coil.
The heavens.
Yeah, the Tesla coil's on full.
Yeah.
No, I hate to rub it in, but it's sunny and beautiful. Hot, but sunny and beautiful in Nashville, Tennessee today, bro.
So the squirrels are running by, so he gets wound up. He hates squirrels as much as I do.
Yeah,
give him a mic.
Tony gets wound up too.
Does he really? Does he chase squirrels?
Yeah.
Tony does.
So when are you guys coming to Nashville? When am I gonna? When are we?
Mark's coming soon, right, Mark?
Mark's
so I
won't be there.
Out,
oh, you won't?
Well, so I found out the actual because I was planning on going out and then coming to see you guys, but I'm going to be in Huntsville.
Yeah, it's 2 hours away. It's not too bad. It's a sad little town. Again, asterisks, not factual information.
I'm going out for 3 days to film all these sketches and stand up, and
I
need to be there for that, dude.
I don't know. I never met anybody like Mark Riccadonna in this business. Have you? Every time I turn around, there's a new adventure. He's like the Tom Sawyer of comedy.
Hey, Richie, come paint this fence with me.
I do the same bullshit gigs twice a year. Go here now, go there. Mark's always like, hey, I'm going to Alaska. I'm going to run with the wolves, and we're going to film it. It's going to be funny.
Well, that's the thing. It's not just stand-up. Like it's a new movie or a new project. It's like different things over and over.
That's cool, though. That's so cool.
I can't sit still.
But where do you get the time to like study the scripts or write the scripts? Like it's nonstop.
So
I've never seen anything like it.
Explain, like, what is this thing you're doing? What is this thing you're doing now? You're going to Tennessee.
It's called the Comedy Buzz. I'm going to Alabama, and they're making two 2-hour specials that are sketch and stand-up. I only do 15 minutes of stand-up, but then I'm going to be in a couple sketches. And then this comedian Killer Bees it's his baby. And so I'm his New York buddy. So I get to come down, and he's going to be disappointed when he finds out I live in Pennsylvania now.
I was going to say that Ohio accent will be great for New York,
buddy.
Well, dude, it's like I got cast in this thing a long time ago. It was like the Indian version of the Twilight Zone. And I asked the guy in Astoria, they do all the casting for Bollywood and for Indian films. And this guy casted me in it. And I asked him, I was like, why did you pick me out of all the people that came through? And he was like, you are so New York. And I wanted to be like, no, I'm not. But I wanted the gig. So I was like, yeah, okay, I totally get that. Yeah, of course.
I thought he was going to say because you're so Indian.
Yeah.
I'll play Indian. I'll do whatever it takes to get a gig.
Yeah, you're not allowed anymore.
No, we can't do that.
You play Indian, you're going to be
Apu shut us all down.
Yeah. The funny thing is, Mark played the guy in India. He worked at the 7-Eleven because they have Americans working at 7-Eleven in India.
Have a good day.
That's right.
We'll cut that out in post.
No, I do it in a complete perfect American accent, and they all laugh when I say it. Have a good day.
They laugh when Mark says, "How are you, my friend?" My friend.
Dude, Huntsville's the guy. Like, that's where all our rocket scientists are. You're going to be surrounded by a brain trust. Don't be confused because most of Alabama, we all agree, are a little slower than most. But
we'll cut that out in post. There goes our Alabama contingent.
Oh, you lost like 10 people. Oh, I lost
what
me.
happened? Where'd you go?
I know. I got shut down.
Alabama shut you down.
No.
He said how smart they are. There you go.
They'll be at your house soon going, you got a pretty mouth, boy.
That's how I look all the time. I can't figure out what happened here. Oh, wait.
That's
start video.
John right before he fell.
I don't know. That was bizarre. I hit my desk. Oh, I did it again.
We stopped doing it.
That's so funny. Yeah. Oh, come on. Start video. The hell? USB not recognized. No! Hold on. A technical difficulty. This is bullshit.
Alabama's shutting us down, man.
I know they did. It's because those freaking scientists, man. They know what this is going on there.
Yeah. It is eerie that this happened right after you said that.
There. Here we go. It's gonna work.
Now he's gone completely.
No, I know. That's weird. I talk smack about those scientists, and I'm
so you're going. What are they recording this for, Mark?
They're doing a comedy special thing, that you can purchase online and stuff.
Does it pay?
Yep.
You? Yeah. Huh?
Pay pretty good. I mean, I imagine it's going to be a lot of work. It's not just the stand-up part.
It sounds like fun, though.
Yeah.
I don't know Killer Bees. I know the name. I never met him.
He is one of the sweetest guys you'll ever meet, and just old school funny. Like, dude, his act, the first 10 minutes, he's back. The first 10 minutes of his act is explaining his world, and then there's just 5-minute stories that go off of it that could be like an episode of a TV show. You just like, you're dying laughing because you know all the characters. So all he has to say is, and then Nana walked in, and everybody's like, ah!
Nana.
And you're like, that shouldn't be a punchline, but because he painted the picture of who Nana is, it becomes hysterical.
This is good. I hate that I'm not going to be around, dude. We're going on a family trip, and
Well,
it's
let's
bumming
do
me.
fall.
Yes, please. And I wish you guys would jump in your kidnap van, your white panel kidnap van, and you guys all three head down here.
Let's do it. I'm in.
I'll go.
We need to get no panels, no air conditioning,
Yeah, no air
windows,
conditioning.
and we just van it straight down.
Pick up a hobo along the way. You know?
We would be like the worst version of the Blues Brothers. Actually, Richie can sing. It's not fair for me to lump him in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Richie
Richie
can do a
has
set.
Yeah, Richie could belt out a number.
Yeah, when
But,
when I met Les Paul, he was gonna go to the Iridium, and he invited me, and he said, if you want to come, you can get up and do some time. And I'm like, I'd rather sing. And he goes, nah, you got to do comedy. I go, no, I really can sing. I'd rather sing with you. And he was like, no, if you're going to do it, you got to do comedy. He was like getting mad at me. He loved comedy.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I've never got to meet that cat. I would.
I got to meet him a few times. He was great. He was great.
So cool.
he came, so he had a Monday night jam of his own in Times Square.
At the Iridium in Times Square, yeah. And I didn't get to go, which sucked. I didn't end up going.
I used to go. I was friendly with a guy. I don't know if you guys know him, John Paris, the blues. He's a blues guitarist.
I know the name.
He had the house band at BB King's, but he
Right.
also had a house band at the Triad up on the Upper West
Mhm.
Side. And
Yeah.
this guy, I mean, he could play. He was everything you wanted in a New York City blues guy. Like, he had the whole voice, he had everything down. And he did a show every Monday, and it was like, I mean, to you, it's probably not as big of a deal because you live in Nashville. But anybody who was coming through town stopped in to hang with John. So, like, he would be playing, and all of a sudden they'd be like, oh, the guy on drums tonight was, some famous drummer from some band. And on bass, this song, we have a guy sitting in. You guys might know him. He's, plays with Black Sabbath, or, whoever. And it's like every band or every song, he brought people up and they just jammed and did whatever. But a couple times that we were down there, Les Paul came in. And he would have to play and then take off because he had his own show 5 blocks away. So he'd be like, sorry, he's got to take off. He's got his show. Don't leave our show to go to his.
I hate that I missed that.
They said, what's his name? Woody Allen would pop in once in a while.
Wow.
And play clarinet?
He
could really play.
Yeah.
And they said that he would stop in, but he would hung with Les Paul and them.
That just blows my mind, dude. That's so cool. That guy,
So
what a
weird.
legend. I know. It's so, and the thing that I hate, I'd never went. All the times I've been in the city and not doing anything, and I had the chance to go and I never went.
Yeah.
And, you just go, I'll go next time.
I'm starting to realize, like, I look at schedules of venues around here, and I start realizing, like, I don't want to pull, like, my dad was supposed to see Elvis, and he kept putting it off, and then he passed away.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do that. So I'm like, when's Tom Jones coming through?
Yeah.
That's how I am about Micky Dolenz.
Get your tickets now. September 22nd. The Ace.
The Ace.
Ooh,
The Ace, baby.
the Ace.
We got to wind down because it's almost 2. But
This flew. I mean,
yeah,
you know what's funny about John? We have him on, but we never talk about anything really directly related to what, like,
to what we.
yeah, most
So we
people
have
we
to
go,
have
so
you
you
on
did
again."
this, you did. John, we're just like, what do you got back there? What do you got? And he's like, oh, I got this thing. We do 20 minutes on the thing.
the podcast watchers are all like, "Why are they talking to this guy?
This guy's in his cellar.
He's just some dude."
Anybody who doesn't know you right now is going, I can't believe they keep getting the bad guy from Cobra Kai.
Yeah, exactly. I got that the other night. Somebody sent me. No, it was you. You did that. It was right. It was Basia Pickles, and you put on there like you're hanging with Johnny V.
She was she had to be at some kind of Cobra Kai thing.
Yeah,
because it was the guy who plays Kreese. And,
exactly. There's no way they both happened to be just hanging out at the Waffle House together.
And so I tagged you in the picture and said, "It's so cool hanging out with Johnny. Tell him I said hi."
That guy
we also, you know what else? When John's on, we never actually start the show.
I know.
We just kind of floats in. Don't you have a theme song with the show or something like that?
We do, but we like put it in later. But the problem with when Mark gets on before I'm here with somebody, Mark can't wait to just start talking to people. So they're like half the show is done before I even sit in the chair.
We were having these serious family father-daughter talks, like, and my kid and this and that. And I was like, oh, shit, I shouldn't be telling stories about my kids. And then I realized, I told Mark, I was like, well, they're not going to watch this. They don't watch anything.
Nobody watches this, so you're fine.
Secrets are safe here. We talked about.
I edit that stuff. I edit that stuff out for $10 each.
I'm 100. I'm 100 in already.
I mean, Tony is our only audience member, and he has to be here.
We have to tell one joke. One joke. You got one?
You got one, John?
I got.
No,
I got one.
Mark knows. I know. I don't do comedy.
All right. You got one, Mark?
I do got one. I just wrote this. This is my new opener. The other night I tied one on. I got really drunk, like really, really drunk, and I kept trying to talk myself into maybe getting sober. But in the morning I woke up and said, "Who would listen to that drunk?"
It's good though. You tied in the drink and the jokes on that.
That's why you do the comedy. I slap of the bass.
So John, we're gonna have you back on, man. We have.
You serious?
Yeah.
We haven't talked about even the Monkees yet.
No.
You got like 3 guys you talk to, and it's
what we should do?
Other dudes, and we start over again.
We should have you on with Joe Wooten, and then
yeah.
all 3 of us won't talk.
I'll just have my mic muted, and I'll just be going,
dude.
We gotta have
right
him.
on, brother.
He started touring back up with
Steve Miller.
Steve Miller. They're up.
So I got so excited for him.
All right, they're going to be here on Saturday. They're going to be here in Long Island.
Oh, you guys need to go. You need to go catch them.
I can't. I'm working the Brigada. I wish I could. Yeah.
They're good. It's a good band.
Yeah.
Steve Miller. He's like, all right. There's Les Paul's good buddy. They were real good close pals.
Yes.
And he's another
that was his
icon.
Godfather, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's something. There was a relation there. I can't remember what it was, but Steve's one of those guys. You got to, I don't want to. It's not morbid. He's not old, ancient, but you want to see him while he's still
Turned
doing
80.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to see him while he's still able to perform at a high level. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Right.
I just bought his vinyl, and they have him and Les Paul a conversation when he was a real little kid.
Are you serious?
And they're talking, and he's singing with them. It's really cool,
man.
But
they're out with
so we got
Bruce
to have you back
Hornsby.
on.
Yeah, please do.
We're gonna make it happen.
And we got
please do. I love this.
And so we're gonna close out, and then we have to do the opening because we
do the opening song. Do I need to get my bass out here? Hold on, let me see. We'll play along. This fictitious track of yours. Sounds like that, right?
We should get the guys who did our song,
the Morris Brothers.
Get the Morris Brothers, and I'll go to Nashville for a week.
Oh yeah, in the white panel van of no air conditioning.
They would love it.
Do it.
These guys,
love you guys.
Were they the house band? They were Juliet's. Where they played and hung out with Dick Wolf and would tell them.
No, it was at Elaine's. They weren't the house band. They just hung out at Elaine's.
Oh, okay. I thought they played there all the time. But they had some funny stories because this place Elaine's is always just filled with super artists.
Right.
But
It's a famous restaurant
right.
here in New York.
I'm gonna choke the dog. You guys don't mind?
I didn't even hear that dog.
That
dude.
what, I thought you were gonna jerk off.
That's what it sounded like. I'm gonna jerk my dog. That's what I thought I heard.
He found a squeak toy. He's like, the dog's quiet 24 hours a day. As soon as we get online, he's barking at squirrels.
That's how it goes, man.
All right.
I love that you guys had me today.
No, man. Thank you. The sour flew. You
guys are like my northerner cousins, my Yankee cousins. I love it.
Well, I'm gonna come see you with Mark soon, man. I can't wait to come down to Nashville.
I'll send a text.
We'll figure it out.
Richie, I know you gotta go. I'll send the dates I'm open, and then Richie, you.
Okay.
And then John, you just chime in.
That's perfect.
Cool.
Tony, you stay here.
Guys.
Thanks, John. That was Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling.
Yeah. See you guys.
We may have the dumbest show on fucking